From vote leave to Trussonomics, we've been warning for years of the impact and influence of opaquely funded think tanks. And for years, we've been covering oligarchy. Yes, oligarchs, whether Russian or American.
From Boris Johnson's favours for the son of a KGB agent, to Rishi Sunak's family connections to a Putin-linked oligarch, we brought you the stories that the rest of the press didn't want to tell you about.
Byline Times was created to scrutinise an entire power block in this country that is completely unaccountable, the established press.
Since their inception, we've been exposing how outlets like GB News have been warping our debate and toxifying our political culture.
We exposed the PPE contract scandal, which laid bare cronyism and waste at a time of a national health emergency.
Long before other outlets, Byline Times was investigating government efforts to warp our elections through mandatory voter ID. It's US-style voter suppression.
We were the first to cover right-wing climate change denialists.
For a long time, we've been exposing right-wing efforts to warp our media, like revealing that BBC chairman Richard Sharp donated tens of thousands of pounds to an organisation that funds BBC-bashing think tanks.
Byline Times was the only newspaper to report on the hundreds of millions of pounds in subsidies that was given by Boris Johnson's government to the established newspapers. Now, why did no one else in the media report on this? It's because there has been a merger in recent years between the media and political classes. That's why they can't tell you the stories we can, and that's why we are.
Next year's headlines today, what the papers can't say.
Next year's headlines today, what the papers wouldn't say.
Next year's headlines today, what the papers don't say.
Next year's headlines today, what the papers should say.
So subscribe to Byline Times. Next year's headlines today, what the papers won't say.